Many couples are in love but are completely moving towards different directions. One person wants growth, the other one wants comfort. One person is building intentionally, the other person is just existing. And sometimes marriages don't work because love is missing, but they don't work because alignment disappeared. You're welcome to this channel. My name is Chukwunyere, and I help people build healthy, happy, and purposeful relationships that will influence cultures and transform societies. Today we are going to be talking about why purpose and vision is important in marriage. Why purpose and vision is important in marriage. A lot of people get married so happy and in love with each other, but then over a period of time, they go their separate ways. They go their separate ways not because they stopped loving each other, but because they have evolved into different individuals. And this a lot of times is as a result of the lack of a shared purpose and a shared vision. It is important to know that attraction may bring people together, but it takes purpose and vision to give direction to that relationship. Many people prepare for weddings, but very few prepare for direction. And when a relationship has no shared direction, eventually people begin to feel disconnected, and even if they still love each other, they eventually walk away from that relationship. So it's important to understand that as you build your relationship, as you build your marriage, you must build it around a shared purpose and a shared vision. It's important to also note that love is not enough without direction. Okay, so one of the myths that people have about relationships is that if they're in love, then everything will work out well. But that's not true. You can be in love with someone, like really, really in love with them, but if your lives lack direction, if your relationship lacks direction, then that relationship would work. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of effort to be able to build a relationship that lasts for a long time. Yes, love matters, but direction matters too. You can really genuinely love someone and still struggle to build a stable relationship with them because there are lots of things that are lacking, things like vision, things like purpose, things like what your priorities are, things like values, and so sometimes even some people have colliding values, they have colliding priorities, and so it's very difficult for them to build a very successful relationship. And so it's important to understand that as you decide to get into marriage, you must have to understand your personal purposes as individuals, because the idea of having a shared purpose in marriage or a shared vision in marriage doesn't mean that you must be identical. Marriage or healthy marriages would always celebrate individuality, but it's important to have a shared purpose. It's important to have a shared vision, because it gives direction to your lives. It gives direction to your marriage. It gives direction to what you've been called to do in this life. So for instance, a shared marriage or a shared vision would answer questions like, what kind of life are we trying to build? What values define our home? What matters most to us? What are we building beyond survival? What kind of parents do we want to become? What kind of legacy do we want to leave? What role would faith, purpose, service, or community play in our lives? Without these conversations, many couples unconsciously drift into marriage without clarity. And I always would say this, that you must have this type of conversations even before you get married, because a lot of people get married without gaining clarity in the direction to which the other person is going to, or even in the direction to which they are or they want to go to in life. And so they get into marriage and they find out that they are going to completely different places in life. So it's important to have these conversations, because when you don't, when you get married, you begin to drift, and drifting is very dangerous. So it's important to intentionally define your direction, because if you don't, life would define it for you. Life would define it for you. Purpose gives direction to your life. Purpose gives depth to your marriage. Purpose gives depth to your marriage. So one thing purpose will always do is that it helps a couple become bigger than temporary emotions. There are times when my wife and I will have conflict. What would help us come back, what will help us reconcile, is the fact that we have a bigger purpose, or we have a purpose that is bigger than our emotions and our feelings. We know what the purpose of our marriage is. We know why we are in that marriage. We have a shared vision about our destinies, about our lives, about the purpose of our marriage. And so it is bigger than our emotions. It is bigger than how we feel. And so it helps us to circle back, it helps us to reconcile, and it helps us to continue to build our relationship. So it's important that you have a purpose. It's important that you have a shared vision in your marriage, because every marriage will face stress, every marriage will face disappointment, every marriage will face misunderstanding, will face challenges, and there will be seasons where your marriage will probably hit rock bottom or face very difficult times. What will keep you together, irrespective of how you feel, irrespective of the disappointments and the challenges, what will keep you together is the shared vision that you have about your lives, is the shared vision that you have about your marriage, is the shared vision and purpose that you have about your relationship. A couple without a shared vision can become consumed by daily survival. You just wake up, work, pay bills, and you repeat the process again. But a purpose-driven marriage would help you to be anchored, into that thing that you have seen concerning your marriage. That even in difficult times, you are anchored on your purpose. You are anchored on that vision that you have. Okay, so purpose says we are building something meaningful together. Maybe your purpose is to raise, highly successful kids. It could be to do ministry or build ministry, create impact. Whatever the purpose is, ensure that you discuss it with your wife, you discuss it with your husband, and you both work on a collective purpose for your marriage, because of course both your individual purposes will come together to also form a collective purpose for your marriage, because the idea is that your marriage should help you guys fulfill your purposes in life. So the marriage is a platform for you to help you fulfill your purposes in life. And so it's important to discuss it. It's important to have a shared purpose. It's also important to have a shared vision for your marriage. It's important to stop asking, what do I want? And begin to ask, what are we building together? That would always help you guys to be focused on you as a team and not on each of you as an individual. That is also very, very important. Now, there are several reasons why couples grow apart, and we're going to look at them, because you love someone, you're happy you got married to them, but after a while you start disconnecting. And one major reason is this: you just stop growing intentionally. When you stop growing intentionally, both of you, stop growing intentionally, you will start drifting apart. So one person may just evolve over time emotionally, but the other person refuses growth. Okay, one person is intentionally seeking to fulfill purpose, but then the other person is just passive about life, is just existing and is seeking comfort. So it's important to understand that when that happens, there is the potential to drift apart. There's the potential to grow apart. One person may develop a vision and they are pursuing that vision. The other person is avoiding responsibility. Frustration will always grow in a relationship like that. And growth is very critical in every marriage. Growth is very critical in every marriage. I remember who I was 10 years ago before I got married to my wife and who I am today. Our marriage has helped me grow. And because I'm intentional about growth, I am no longer that person I used to be 10 years ago. And same thing as well for my wife. She has grown. She has evolved. She's a better person because she also prioritized growth. Okay, so healthy couples should learn to communicate regularly, revisit their goals, because you may just be occupied with life for several reasons, and you don't revisit your goals and ask yourselves again, this was what we planned when we set out on our marriage. Are we still on track? So it's important to have regular conversations, communicate regularly, revisit your goals, talk about them, and see if you need to adjust a few things. Adjust when you need to, because marriages come in seasons. Okay, there are several seasons in your marriage. There's a season where you're raising kids. There's a season when the kids are out of the house. There's a season where it's full of challenges. Marriages always have seasons. Several seasons occur in a marriage, and so it's important that you adjust as the seasons change. Okay, and support each other's evolution. It's important to support each other's evolution. When someone is growing, support them. When you see that they are improving, support them. Don't just talk down on them. Don't talk down on the vision that they have or the goal that they are pursuing. Support them so they can grow. And stay emotionally connected during growth. Stay emotionally connected, because you can actually be growing individually and you're not connected. Okay, so because growth would take you to a next level, and so that emotional connection is important because it also keeps you grounded and it helps you not to feel like you are two different people. And so purpose is not static. Life changes, people evolve, seasons change, and so because these things happen, it's important to keep reviewing your purpose, reviewing your goals, reviewing your shared vision, adjusting, and keep improving. And couples must learn that how much you grow together would determine how far you go in your relationship. How much you grow together would determine how far you go in your relationship. Now, it's important to also ask yourself, how do we build a shared vision? How do we build a shared purpose? Number one, have honest conversations early. Okay, before you get into a marriage relationship, have honest conversations. If you've already gotten married, it's important to come back to the table and have honest conversations. Discuss finances, family expectations, faith, children, career goals, lifestyle expectations, emotional needs, long-term dreams. Chemistry should never replace clarity. This is really very important. So have conversations about core things that are important to you. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say here. Because if you have conversations, you'll be able to walk in alignment. You'll be able to define your shared vision around these things, and it will guide how you both would relate in that marriage. The second thing you also need to do is to define your core values. Healthy homes are built on core values. Ask yourselves, what kind of culture do we want in our home? How do we want to handle conflict? Or how do we handle conflict in our marriage? What matters most to us? What principles guide our decisions? Because really, values shape behavior. So if you are in a relationship with someone, it's important to define what your core values are. Because within those core values are principles that define how you behave. How do you want to resolve conflict? You must have guiding rules on how to resolve conflict. We must not go to bed without resolving our conflict. So nobody goes to bed angry. Nobody sleeps until you resolve conflict. You must understand that you're on the same team, and so nobody should use abusive words. Nobody should be physical. Nobody should scream or yell at each other during conflict. These are rules, these are values that will guide you during conflict. So it's important to understand, even how do we train our children? Do we flog them? Should we not flog them? Do we spend more time? How do we have conversations with them? How you raise your kids also are centered around values. So it's important to have core values that you define early in your marriage, because it really helps. And then number 3 is build together, not individually. Build together, not individually. Your language should change from I or my life plus that of my wife to our life. Okay, that's really very important. Support each other intentionally, celebrate each other's growth, make decisions together, dream together, pray together, build together. Building is very important, and you have to do it together. If you are doing or you are building alone, you will be building towards different directions in life. So it's important to build together. It's important to build, as a team. And then number 4, revisit the vision often. Go on family retreats. Go on couples retreats. Take some time, spend time with your spouse, and revisit your goals. You must keep checking. You must keep reviewing to always help you stay in alignment. Okay, because people change over time, and so as you are evolving, as you are reading more books, as you are attending those courses, as you are gaining knowledge, it does something on your inside. It helps you improve, it helps you grow, it helps you change. So it's important to keep revisiting your vision, so it keeps you guys in alignment. You should ask yourselves questions. Are we still connected? Are we still growing together? Are we still intentional about our marriage? What needs adjustment? What needs realignment? You must always ensure that you maintain intentionality in everything that you do. You must maintain intentionality in everything that you do. And that's why it's important to always have that time to talk and revisit your vision, revisit your goal, revisit the things that you agreed on at the early stages of your relationship or your marriage. Now, the real goal of marriage is not merely to have someone who you're physically with at home. It's about building something meaningful together, both emotionally, spiritually, mentally, purposefully, psychologically. In every area of your life, you are building something meaningful with someone. Okay, so because you live in the same house with that person, and if you don't intentionally work together, you will become two separate people who are going to two different directions. So shared visions help you to prevent growing apart and doing life differently. Okay, it creates partnership, it creates unity, it creates direction, and direction gives your relationship stability. Direction gives your relationship stability. So I will close with this. At some point, every couple must, answer some of these questions. And the question is, what are we building together? What are we building together? Not just what are we feeling, what are we surviving, what are we posting online, but what meaningful future are we intentionally creating together? Because these questions will keep you grounded. They will keep you, they will get you to come back to the basics and help you redefine a lot of things just in case you are not in alignment. Because truth is, love without direction eventually becomes confusion. And love combined with purpose makes you a powerful couple. Makes you a powerful couple. I'm going to end here today. And if this conversation is meaningful to you or has added value to you, please like this video, please comment, and also subscribe. And I would leave you with this question. Do you think that in your marriage or in your relationship, you have a very solid shared vision? Let me know in the comment section. Alright guys, take care of yourselves until I see you in the next episode. Bye.